All right, let's get started in a child's pose today. So bring your knees out wide onto your mat. Send your hips to your heels. Extend your arms out long. Really just sink into your mat here. We're going to take some time to center our mind and get our body ready to move. Start to check into your body, noticing any areas where you might be holding on to tension. Checking into your mind, seeing if you have any thoughts clouding your mind right now. Maybe any feelings of worry or anxiety coming alive at this time of the year when finals are coming up for some of us, maybe the end of a work quarter. Try to see if you can let that go for the next 45 minutes. Really focusing here on your mat and focusing on the present. Check into your jaw, see if you can let any tension go there. Let your mouth relax. We'll start to connect to our breath. Each inhale through the nose, filling up the lungs as big as you can. Exhale out the nostrils, maybe bringing the tongue to the roof of the mouth. Inhale again. Through the nose, maybe letting the air swirl inside your lungs. Exhale all the air out. Bring the belly button back in towards the spine. Good. Inhale, expand your belly. Let your belly button drop towards the mat. And then exhale. Good. On your next inhale, come up to your cat or your tabletop position. Your shoulders are directly over your wrists. Your hips are over your knees. The tops of your feet can be on the mat, or you can tuck your toes underneath. We're going to wake up the core here, doing some cat-cow, so adding our breath to some movement. Inhale, drops your belly button down, look up. And then exhale, round the back, tuck your tailbone under. Good. Inhale, really drop it down. And then exhale all the air out, tuck your tailbone under. Good. Inhale, this time look up towards the ceiling. Exhale, tuck the chin, round the back. Take this a few times at your own pace. Maybe you add in some other movement, bringing one shoulder to one hip, stretching into the side. Find movement that feels authentic and natural in your own body. Always know that whatever I offer you, you can always modify. We're going to be doing a lot of shoulder and core work today, so always modify that to be your own abilities, your own body preference. Good. Coming back to center. Place your left hand deeply into the mat. Really firm up that foundation. Your right knee is going to stay planted. Extend that left toe back behind you. Moving into a bird dog. Right fingertips reach forward. Opposite hand and opposite arm, opposite leg. Reaching out, front and back. Good. Exhale, bring your knee in towards your elbow. Try to make that connection. Good. Inhale, reach it long. Exhale, bring it in. Good. When you inhale long, try to see if you can keep your low back neutral. Move at your own pace. Do about 4 or 5 here. Each inhale brings you long. Each exhale brings you in towards the center. Good. On your next exhale, place your right hand back to the mat, your left knee down. We'll take that on the other side. Right toes go back. Left fingertips reach forward. Lift those right toes off the mat. Long line of the body. Hold it here for a few breaths first. Maybe noticing any wobbles or unsteadiness. Reach long. And then exhale, knee to elbow. Good. Inhale, reach it long. Exhale, bring it in. Good. 3 or 4 more at your own pace. Good. 1 more. Exhale, place the hand and knee back on the mat. This time, extend your left leg out long. Come onto your toes, and then maybe send your heel back and forth, stretching into that calf muscle. Good. Come back to center, shoulders over wrists. Lift those left toes off the mat, and then extend them out to the side. Good. Place the inside of your left foot on the mat, or on the ground, probably where you are. And then start to sink your hips back, stretching into the inner thigh. Good. Take this a few times, just rocking back and forth. Awesome. Bring that left toe back behind you, and then place it on the mat. We'll take that on the other side. Right toes go back behind you, touch the toes down to the ground, and then press the heel back, stretching into the calf muscle. Good. Inhale, reach those right toes up, and then place it on the outside of your right, on the right side of your mat. Sorry about that. And then just start to sink the hips back and forth, taking this to your own degree. Maybe you hold onto one side. We're kind of working on like a half splits here. Half center splits, I guess you could say. But really just opening up that inner thigh. Good. Come back to center. Right toes long. Place your knee down onto the mat. Good. Slowly just start to come into bringing your feet out in front of you. Place your toes on the mat. And then slowly start to lower down onto your back. Good. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a tight squeeze here. Maybe massage out the low back. Rocking from side to side. Good. And then start to rock and roll the length of your mat. Massaging out the length of your spine. Good. And then when you're ready, cross the ankles, come over to your downward facing dog. So however you want to get there, upside down facing B. Place your hands about shoulder width distance, and then spread your fingertips wide so that you can really press each fingertip, each knuckle into the mat. Good. Take some time here to pedal it out. Just getting set in this position, maybe snaking through the shoulders. Good. Start to firm up your foundation. Press your hands into the mat. Start to tilt your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Option to have straight legs, reaching your heels down towards the ground, or option to bend the knees too. Whichever feels better in your body, do that for you. Good. When you're ready, inhale to high plank pose. Really engage your core, drop your hips down, push away from the mat. Good. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, high plank pose. Hold it here. And exhale, downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale, high plank pose. Try to find a good foundation here. Good. Exhale, hips back. Inhale, your left toes go long. Exhale, knee to elbow. Hold it there. Good. Inhale, left toes go long. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Drop your back knee. Hook your thumbs and rise. Good. Exhale, plant the hands and step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Flat back, reach the crown of your head forward. Hands can come to your shins. Good. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, hands through to heart center. Good. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Step your feet to your high plank pose. Good. On your exhale, drop the knees. And slowly lower down, keeping your elbows at your sides. Good. Inhale, bring your chest off the mat. Press into the hands. Cobra pose. Exhale, tuck your toes. Send your hips back high for downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, right toes go long. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Hold it there. Good. Inhale, right toes long. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Drop the back knee, hook your thumbs and rise. Exhale, plant the hands. Step your left toes forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, hands through to heart center. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step your feet back. And then moving through that flow again, drop the knees, bend the elbows back as you slowly lower down. Inhale, shine the chest forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, slowly start to walk your feet up towards your hands so that you're coming into a forward fold at the top of your mat. Bend into both knees here, starting to stretch into the hamstrings. Good. On your inhale, bring your arms overhead, sink your hips low, coming into your chair pose. Reach your arms forward. Your feet can be touching or they can be a little bit apart, whatever's more comfortable for you. And then check into your knees. See if they're in line with one another. If not, maybe you have to move your hips forward or back. Good. Exhale, prayer through the heart center. Hold it here. Maybe you sink your hips just a little bit lower. Good. Inhale, arms overhead. Long body. Grab hold of your left hand with your left wrist with your right hand. We're going to take a side body stretch. So bring the feet together. And then as you reach over to the right, send your left hips out to the side. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Grab hold of the other arm. Side body stretch on the right. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step your feet back, and then option to move through your flow. You can keep the knees off the mat if you would like. So exhale, lower down to half plank. Inhale, flip your toes, coming to the tops of your feet, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Good, pedal it out here. Good, inhale, the left toes go long. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Hold it here. Good, inhale, left toes long. Exhale, bring your shin behind your wrist, moving into a pigeon pose. Drop that back knee down to the mat. Your right leg is long behind you. Option to stay here with your chest up, or if you want to sink down into a quick pigeon pose here, feel free to do that now. You can come down to your forearms, or you can rest your forehead on the mat. Take this to your degree. We'll take just 3 breaths in this position. Start to walk your hands back up to the top of your mat. Place your palms underneath your shoulders. Tuck your back toes under and lift that back knee off of the mat. You're gonna step your left toes outside of your left hand, coming into this lizard pose. So you can stay here, deep stretch of the right hip flexors. You can also try to go down onto your forearms if you're working on kind of a deeper stretch. But know that just staying right here is perfectly fine. Always modify it to meet your body. Good. When you're ready, start to rock forward on your hands. And then when you're ready, step that right foot outside of the right hand. You're coming down into your yogi squat. Toes will come wide, heels will stay in the center. Bring your hands to a prayer right in front of your heart. Good, you're gonna try to sink your hips as low as you can, opening up those hips. Good, take a deep breath here. Exhale it out. Good, place the hands on the mat. Send your hips up high. Bring your feet about hips width distance and take a ragdoll pose. Opposite hand, opposite elbow. Let your head hang heavy. Good, bring the toes back to touch and inhale, you're coming all the way up to standing. Good, we're gonna take a quick tree pose. Hands can come to center to start. We'll take this on the left. So place your left foot directly underneath you. Try to shift your weight over to that left foot. Start to lift those right toes off of the mat. Bring your knee up first, holding on to this one-legged Tadasana to start. Notice how your ankle might be stabilizing itself, moving back and forth. Good, and then taking a tree pose of your choice. So I'll run you through some options. You can kickstand your heel to the inside of your ankle. You can bring it up to the calf, or you can reach down and grab it, placing it on the inner thigh. Whatever you do, try not to place it on your knee joint. We're gonna engage, so we're gonna press into the middle. The sole of your foot presses into the inner thigh, and your inner thigh presses back. Good, feeling nice and strong here. Option to extend your tree, adding in some leaves and branches. Good. Come back to center. Bring your knee forward, coming into that one-legged Tadasana first. And then exhale your right foot to the mat. Good. Inhale, arms overhead. You're at the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step your feet back to a high plank pose. Good, drop your right knee down to the side, or down to the mat, and then come over to the inside of your left foot. We're coming into a modified side plank. Your right arm can come directly underneath your right shoulder, and then extend your left fingertips long to the ceiling. Good, your right foot can stay in line with your left, or you can kickstand it back behind you. I don't have a lot of room here, so just find a spot where you can feel balanced. Good, and then if you want to play around with lifting that back leg up, feel free to do that. Playing around with some more balance. Awesome. Exhale that left hand down to the mat. Come back to your high plank pose. We're going to take that on the other side. Good, so the left knee drops down. Swivel to the inside of that right foot. Bring your left hand underneath your left shoulder, and then reach your right fingertips high, opening up the collarbones. Good, play around with challenging yourself here. Maybe you bring your gaze up towards your fingertips. Maybe you lift that back toe off the mat. Try to see if you can challenge yourself today. Good. Exhale the toes down to the mat. Right hand meets the left. High plank pose. Option to move through your flow. Drop the knees down. Send your elbows back towards your side. Lower down on your exhale. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good work so far, everyone. We'll take that on the other side. This time we're going to be doing full side plank, so just get ready for that towards the end of this sequence. So you're in your downward facing dog. Inhale the right toes long this time. Exhale, knee to elbow, hold it here. Good, inhale, right toes long. Exhale, pigeon pose on the right. So your chin comes behind your wrist. And then notice how my ankle isn't, or my shin isn't completely parallel. I do that to protect kind of my knee and my hip. Feels better when I bring my heel in towards my body. So play around with that where you want to feel the stretch. Good, and then take this to your degree. 3 more breaths here. Good, start to walk your hands back up. Place your palms on the mat. Press into the mat. Tuck your back toes under and lift that back knee off the mat. Right toes step outside of the right hand. Good, deep lizard stretch here. Take this to your degree. If you need to drop down onto your knee, that's totally fine too. Good, one more breath here. And then when you're ready, start to rock forward. Good, and then step that left toe outside the left hand, coming into your yogi squat. This time I want you to see if you can focus on engaging the inner thighs. So you're gonna press your palms together, press your elbows into your inner thighs, and then press the inner thighs back. That should wake up your hips, wake up your shoulders, make this a really engaging pose. Good, one more deep breath through the nose. Exhale, send your hips high, down or forward fold. Take another quick forward fold of your choice. I'll be taking you through kind of one that focuses more on the proximal hamstrings, the glutes. So grab hold to your big toes, deep bend in the knees, look forward. Then send your head down first, and then your hips will follow. Notice how my legs are going to probably stay bent for this because I'm focusing more on my hamstrings up at the hip attachment. Let your head hang heavy. Good, bring the feet back to touch. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, circle the arms overhead. We're coming all the way up to standing mountain pose. Maybe take a stretch here. Exhale the hands out to the side. Cactus your arms. Good, inhale, reach overhead. Exhale, prayer through to heart center. We'll take tree pose on the other side. So set up your good foundation first. Balance is always better with a good foundation. Maybe lift your toes off the mat, place them back on. Really feel your weight in all toes, the ball of your foot, the heel of your foot. Then you can start to lift that knee off the mat. Come into your single-legged Tadasana. Good. And then move into your tree pose of your choice. Good. Another tip for if you're trying to balance and you feel kind of wobbly, find a point out in front of you. It can be on the ground, it can be right out in front of you. Just focus on it for a couple of minutes, a couple of moments, not minutes. Good. Once you feel like you have a really good foundation, reach your arms overhead. See if you can test that balance. Good, inhale, come back to center. Reach the knee forward first, single-legged Tadasana. And then exhale, both feet to the mat. Reach your arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, moving back to our high plank pose. So you can take the modified version of side plank here, but if you want to try out true side plank, we're going to bring the right hand directly under our nose and then start to roll onto the outer edge of your right foot. Good, your left foot can come directly on top, it can come in front or behind that right foot, whatever you want to do, and then reach your left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Good. If you notice your hips kind of dropping, see if you can push those hips up towards the ceiling. Good, hold it here for another breath. And then exhale the left hand down to the mat, high plank pose. Good, we're gonna take that on the other side. So place your left hand directly underneath you, roll out onto that outer edge of the left foot, and then almost kind of bring your right hand underneath your left ribs, pull yourself up, and then lift your right hands up. See if that can help you really engage that bottom oblique of the side plank. Good, reach those right fingertips high. And exhale the hand down to the mat. Awesome job, bring your knees down. Take a child's pose here. Nice work balancing and being strong in the shoulders. Good, check back into your breath. Maybe notice how it's changed over the course of this class. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, open the mouth and side out. Let go of any judgments and any worry that you might have. Your body can do amazing things, which is what it's doing right now. Good, come back up to your tabletop position. Tuck your back toes under, and then lift your knees off the mat. Engage that core. You should feel your lower ribs kind of coming together. You're pulling them in. Good, exhale, downward facing dog. On your inhale, right toes will go long. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Swivel that back heel down, open up for warrior two. We're just taking a really quick, simple flow. Good, inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, windmill the arms down to the mat. Reach your right fingertips up towards the ceiling, twist. Exhale, fingertips to the mat, step your right toes back. Option to move through your flow. Good, take that on the other side, left toes long. Exhale, step your foot between your hands, swivel that back heel down, open up for warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior, left fingertips high. Exhale, windmill the arms down to the mat, frame your front foot, step your left, or raise your left fingertips high. Low lunge twist. Exhale, hand down to the mat, step your left toes back. Exhale, slowly lower down to the mat, coming all the way onto your belly. Good, so we're gonna strengthen the back side of our body. Bring your palms directly underneath your shoulders. When you're ready, on your inhale, we are going to lift just the chest off of the mat. Try to keep the tops of your feet planted into the mat. Good, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Good, exhale, come back down. Good, you can take that, or if you want to, you can bring your arms out to the side, coming into a cactus. On your inhale, raise the chest, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Good, exhale, come back down. We're gonna take that 6 times, so find your variation. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, squeeze at the top. Exhale, come back down. Good, inhale. And exhale, check in your chin. See if you can bring it down towards your chest just a little bit, so you're not overly extending the head. Take 2 more. Awesome. Bring one ear to the mat. Give yourself a quick rest. Good, come back to center. Bring your arms out in front of you this time. This time we're gonna add in the legs. So we're gonna be doing kind of a Superman. You can keep your hands here at your shoulders if you would rather do that. Otherwise, you can add in a little bit more challenge, I guess, by extending your arms out in front of you. So on your inhale, start to lift the toes and the chest off the mat. And then exhale, come back down. Good, inhale. We're gonna do 8. Exhale. Inhale. Squeeze at the top. Try to see if you can keep your legs together as you bring them up towards the ceiling. 2 more. Good, bring your hands back underneath you. Come up onto your forearms, coming into a Sphinx pose. I always like doing those exercises because we're all on our computers all day long these days, trying to get school or work done. So I've been liking to do that because I feel like my shoulders have been rounding forward. And when we strengthen the back of our body, we're able to kind of bring those shoulders back with it. Good, reach your collarbones forward. Kind of imagine that squeeze of the shoulder blades again. Good, exhale, come back down. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Tuck your back toes under. Lift your hips up to a high plank pose and then walk your feet up to your hands. Good, exhale, hips come down. You're coming into a seat on your mat. Awesome. We're doing really good. Whew. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sweating. All right. We're going to take a couple of quick core exercises, just some high to low boats. So the first option will be to place your feet out in front of you, and then If you want, you can just move your body. Okay? Otherwise, you can lift your feet off of the mat, and then as you lower your chest, you're gonna lower your legs with it. So choose your option. I'm gonna bring you through about 10 of them. Try to see if you can keep that low back tucked in, so really engage your core as you lower down. All right, ready? I'll count you guys down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Hold that high boat here. You can bring your hands back behind you. Good. Take a breath. Bring your chest forward. Good. Exhale, plant that feet down onto the mat. Your feet should be about hips width distance and about 1.5 feet in front of you. And then just take some windshield wipers, letting your knees fall to one side and then the other. Good. When you're ready, slowly start to come down onto your back. You can keep sending your knees over to one side and then another. Just for a couple of short moments. Bring your arm out to a T. And then when you're ready, lift both knees off, or both feet off the mat. So you're coming into almost like a reverse tabletop. Your hands come to a T out to the sides, and then slowly let your knees fall over to the left. You're gonna let your knees stack. We're coming into a supine spinal twist. If you like to take the normal supine spinal twist where one leg is extended, feel free to do that pose too. I mean, anything that I give you is just an option. You are always welcome to change it. Good, come back to center. Place your feet on the mat. Lift your left ankle and place it over your right knee. We're gonna move into a supine figure 4. So grabbing behind the right thigh. And then option to extend that right leg long, maybe working into the hamstring first. And then you can pull the knee in towards the chest. Should feel a nice stretch in that left outer hip. Good. If you want to play around with changing this at all, you can bring your toes back towards your knee to wake up a little bit more of the outer hip. So you're flexing the toes back. Good. Slowly drop that right foot on the mat. Bring both knees up to our tabletop position. Let our arms out to a T, and then take a supine spinal twist on the other side. Really see if you can let gravity sink you into this twist just a little bit more. Good. See if you can use your core to bring your legs back up. And then place your left leg down onto the mat, your left sole of your foot. Cross your right ankle over the left knee. And then grab behind that left thigh. Option to extend the leg. And then take the supine figure 4. Good stretch for the piriformis muscle. A really small muscle in your hip region that helps stabilize and move your body. Good. Maybe bring your toes back towards your knee. Good, and then bring both feet down to the mat. Option to take a happy baby here. Maybe you want to take a bridge pose by pressing your hips up towards the ceiling. Takes anything that would kind of round out your practice today. Maybe sending your legs up to the ceiling and just circling up the wrist and the ankles. Do whatever feels good for you. And then when you're ready, we're going to find our final resting posture. So you can send your legs out long in front of you. Your arms can come to your sides. Relax your shoulders back into the mat. So take your time here. Know that I will probably be bringing you out of this pose in just a few minutes. But if you want to have this time to really sink into your mat and take a lot of time to really rest, you can always mute me out and enjoy this time. But for now, let your body relax. Feel your rib cage let go. Feel your abs just melt away. We worked them pretty hard. See if you can let them go, let them relax. Let your hips and legs relax. Good. Take one deep breath through the nose. Exhale. Give yourself some time here now in silence to take in all of the benefits of this practice. Know that you have time and space here to stay in this position. If you're ready to kind of move on and finish out your day, you can start to wiggle the toes and the fingers, just waking up the body nice and gently. Good. Start to take a overhead long body stretch. Your arms come over to the top of your mat, stretching from the tips of the toes all the way to the fingers. Good, and then very gently and slowly finding your way to a comfortable seated position, whatever that might look like for you. Your hands can come to your knees, they can come to your lap, or they can come to touch in front of your heart. We'll bring in a wave of gratitude for being able to carve out some time today to practice yoga and come together virtually as a community to move our bodies in an amazing and beautiful way. Such a privilege to be able to move with you guys, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Namaste.